Hey everybody, we're gonna do another Thanksgiving thing today. I bought some pumpkin puree from Misfits Market, and I had some cream cheese in my refrigerator, and I had some graham crackers in my pantry, and today we're gonna make pumpkin cheesecake bars, which we're gonna eat on Thanksgiving, or maybe even before that. So let's do it. First thing we're gonna do is make the crust. I have a few graham crackers I'm gonna crush up, and some melted butter that we're gonna mix them with. Taking out the frustrations of the day. Our graham crackers are all crushed up. Now in goes our melted butter. Stir that around to incorporate them very well. They're probably not as crushed up as they should be, but I think it'll still. I have lined a baking dish with parchment because that way, when our bars are done, we can use these to lift the whole thing out. And we'll cut them up. So in goes our crust. Spread that out, press it in, make sure you get the corners. Okay, we're all pressed in. Now we're gonna chill this for a while and we're gonna do the next step. So now in a bowl, we're gonna mix some sugar. This is about 3/4 of a cup with some softened cream cheese, a couple of beaten eggs, and some vanilla extract. Now we're going to blend that up very well. You can do this with a mixer if you want, but because this cream cheese is very soft, I think a spoon would be nice. And let's see what it looks like when it's all mixed up. I do want to whisk this, but I don't have a regular mixer. All I have is the immersion blender, so I've covered it up so it doesn't fly all over the kitchen while I'm doing it. So here we go. Our cheesecake filling is nice and smooth. And the next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna pour half of this over our chilled crumbs. That's about half right there. And spread it around. Now we're going to take this layer of cheesecake batter and crust and we are going to freeze it. And then we're going to make the next layer. The next layer is where our pumpkininess comes in. We're going to use half of this can of organic pumpkin puree from Misfits Market. We're going to mix that in with the cheesecake filling, the remaining cheesecake filling, until that is well incorporated. And we gotta wait for the first layer to freeze, and then we're gonna continue on. Our cheesecake is going to have a crumb topping. And so what I've done is put some butter, some flour, some sugar, it's like a streusel topping, and some cinnamon in a bowl. And we're gonna mix that up together and get the topping ready for when our cheesecake is ready. We're gonna mix it up good. That's gonna be all crumbly and nice. The first layer of our cheesecake is now frozen, and on goes layer number 2, and then we're going to bake it up. So here we go. Okay, we're going in the oven, 325 degrees for 30 minutes, and then we're going to finish it up. Our cheesecake bars are just starting to get set up, as you can see. And on is going our streusel topping. Just pop this all over top. Whoa. Our streusel topping is on, and now we are going back in the oven for another 20 minutes or so until we are cooked, and then we're going to cool it down and we're going to eat it up. Our cheesecake bars are now out of the oven 25 minutes later, but as you can see, it's still a little wiggly. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna turn the oven off. I'm gonna put the cheesecake bars back in there, and I'm just gonna leave it till it completely cools. and hopefully it'll be done and done. Now that pumpkin puree that I used was much thinner than any pumpkin puree I've ever used before, so I think that's what the problem is. So we're gonna put it in, let it set, let it cook down and cool, and then we're gonna eat them up. Our cheesecake bars are finally done. I actually turned the oven off, like I mentioned, and I left them in overnight, and done and pretty. And now we're gonna remove them from this baking pan, and we're going to cut them up and see what they taste like. Before I cut these, I'm gonna take it for a little trip around the edge. They look like they're gonna be good, nicely layered. And let's do it. Okay, let's see how we go. Oh yeah, very nice. Get through the crust on the bottom. It's gonna be a little sticky. I'm gonna make these mini snacky bars. Okay, here's what our pumpkin cheesecake bars look like on the inside and the outside. And they came out really good, creamy, delicious. And I would serve these with some whipped cream or some ice cream, but I don't have either one of those. So right now, we're just gonna take a bite. Thank you for joining me. We'll be played with some Thanksgiving dessert. Here is our pumpkin cheesecake bar. I cut it into a small piece so I can take a bite. And here we go. So delicious. We're gonna be doing more Thanksgiving cooking, so stay tuned. See you soon.